The distant outpost floated above the black surface of Xylar 9, and for weeks the sensors had been silent. But now a trembling voice came through the communication channels, a signal filled with panic and fear, a voice that barely held together words of warning. Something hunts in the dark of our planet. We cannot survive this. And the message repeated with broken syntax as the shadows moved through the colony, destroying everything. The council chamber on Zephyr Prime received the transmission in shock. The alien leaders stared at each other, their eyes wide with disbelief. The chamber was filled with whispering as each species tried to understand the words of horror coming from a distant world. The high speaker rose slowly, his voice calm, yet heavy with tension. He said, "The message is clear. They face a predator in the dark, but no species in our records can survive in that kind of night." Whispers turned into murmurs as the chamber replayed the outpost footage. The darkness was thick and heavy and moving, but there was no visible creature, only shapes in the black. The sensors recorded bursts of energy and sudden disappearances, buildings collapsing and alarms wailing. Yet no attacker appeared clearly to anyone. The survivors spoke only of shadows that moved with purpose, shadows that struck and vanished, and no being had ever returned to describe it fully. A young delegate of the scaled race spoke first, her voice shaky yet determined. "We have studied Xylar 9 for decades. We know the wildlife, the storms, the volcanic activity, and nothing we have seen behaves like this. Nothing moves with such intelligence in complete darkness." And she paused, looking around at the council members. The fear in her eyes mirrored the unease in the room. "If this continues, the colony will be gone in hours." And she whispered the word that made the chamber still. "Human." "Human." The council murmured the name cautiously, as if it were a thought too strange to speak aloud. The high speaker nodded and said, "We do not know these creatures fully. The outpost calls them human, but we must treat this report seriously for their survival. In this darkness challenges every rule and every theory we hold." The chamber fell into a tense silence. The lights dimmed slightly as the holographic maps displayed the planet Xylar 9, the surface jagged and covered in permanent night storms. The sensors indicated energy spikes and anomalies in motion that could not be explained. The alien leaders leaned forward, each hoping to find a rational answer, each hoping that the fear was an illusion or a technical error, but the evidence left no room for comfort. A voice from the crystalline elders spoke slowly, their tone deliberate and chilling. They said, "The darkness has always been dangerous, yet we have never seen a species claim it as home, never seen a species move with purpose when nothing else is visible. If humans can survive this place, then no world is beyond them, no trap can hold them, and their potential is limitless." The words sent shivers through every member present. The high speaker gestured to the next council member, a scholar with feathers silver and long who studied alien predation. The scholar activated a series of holographic recordings showing past attacks across the galaxy. Nothing matched the Xylar 9 events. Nothing showed the coordination and efficiency. In absolute darkness, the beings that humans call friends and family survive storms, poison, and cold, but darkness kills almost everything else. And yet here, humans seem unstoppable. The debate began slowly, at first polite, then louder, each species trying to interpret what it meant. Some said, "Perhaps humans have evolved senses beyond our understanding. Perhaps they can see energy patterns in the dark. Perhaps they communicate in ways invisible to us." Others argued, "No intelligence could survive there. Nothing could move through the eternal black without being crushed or devoured." And they panicked, thinking of their own species, struggling even with lights and sensors. A representative of the winged race flapped her arms nervously. She said, "If humans can move like predators in darkness, what hope do we have if they decide to spread across our space, if they learn our worlds, if they hunt beyond Xylar 9? And every head turned, because the thought was terrifying. For centuries, the galaxy had feared darkness and taught its children to respect it, yet humans seemed to turn it into advantage instead of danger. The high speaker raised a hand for silence and said, "We must understand before we act, for panic will not protect us." The chamber watched as the communication repeated again and again, each word carrying the terror of the outpost. "We cannot survive the dark. It moves, it hunts. Everything is gone." The voice trembled, "We are gone." And then silence until another voice cut in a whisper, small and fearful. "They call themselves humans." The word human repeated across the chamber like an echo bouncing against stone walls. The alien leaders looked at each other. The creatures were known in legend only in the outer edges of the galaxy. Some thought humans were weak, some thought they could not survive beyond their home planet. Yet here was proof that they could survive where none should survive, proof that they were unlike anything recorded in any archives. The High Speaker said we must learn everything we can about them and their capacity in darkness, for their abilities break every expectation we hold. The chamber shifted uneasily as the aliens studied the recordings, showing shadows moving with precision, buildings collapsing, and figures appearing in brief glimpses, humans standing calm in the destruction, nothing else visible but them. And each time they moved, the darkness seemed to obey them. The council began to understand the magnitude of what the outpost described. The terror was not only the destruction, but the fact that these beings thrived in conditions that killed everything else. A representative from the stone-skinned race spoke, his voice low and trembling, his eyes glowing slightly in dim light. He said, "No species should survive Xylar 9. The storms, the predators, the black is a place of death. And yet humans live there. They move like hunters while others flee. They do not fear the dark. They are the dark." And the realization hung in the chamber like a weight pressing on everyone present. The council debated for hours, some suggesting fleets be sent immediately to secure the humans, others warning restraint for the humans could be far more dangerous than any weapon. The council studied every report, every recording, every message, the fear in their hearts growing, because nothing else had ever required such consideration. No species had challenged the limits of survival in this way before. Finally, the High Speaker looked around the chamber, his gaze sweeping each alien leader. He said, "We face a species beyond our understanding. They survive where no one else can. They use darkness as armor and weapon. We must proceed with caution and learn quickly." And then the crystal on the central dais flickered, and a new transmission arrived, words glowing slowly across the chamber. In simple text, "They call themselves humans," and the silence returned, heavier than ever before. Every alien present felt it deep in their bones. The name carried power. The word carried fear, the shadow of an unknown species that had turned the most feared element of the galaxy into their greatest ally. And as the chamber emptied slowly, each leader carried the same thought: humans survive in the dark, and the galaxy may never be safe again. The surviving scout ship from Xylar 9 drifted silently through the void, its hull battered by storms and radiation waves, and the single pilot clutched the controls with trembling hands, her eyes wide, as the memories replayed in her mind of what had happened on the planet below. The outpost had vanished, entire towers destroyed, fires raging, and yet through it all humans had moved like hunters through shadows, and she whispered to herself, "They are not like anything we know." The ship docked at the Zephyr Prime research station, and alarms echoed as technicians rushed to the cockpit, every sensor reading, spiking with fear. The scout pilot tried to speak, but her voice trembled as she said, "The humans, they move through darkness like predators. Nothing can hide from them. In every system we had failed to detect their motion until it was too late," and her words sent chills through every listener. In the council chamber, holograms flickered to life, showing the scouts' recorded footage, shadows moving with purpose, humans appearing suddenly in the blast of collapsing towers, humans dodging fires and falling debris, their eyes glowing faintly in the black, as if they could see everything. The alien leaders leaned forward, each struggling to understand the impossible. The High Speaker said, "This is no ordinary species. Nothing in our archives explains this. Nothing in our theory predicts survival in this kind of darkness." The crystalline elder spoke slowly, his voice echoing softly through the chamber. "They're not afraid of the dark, because they're not like us. They perceive the world differently. Their senses evolved in ways our technology cannot measure." And he paused, looking at every leader. "If humans survive Xylar 9, then they're already beyond every classification we have ever made." The winged delegates whispered amongst themselves, moving nervously, their feathers ruffling with unease. They said, "If humans can hunt in the dark, what hope do we have if they move through our shadows and our territory? If they learn to follow us from world to world, their power is unlike anything we have faced before." And the words hung heavy in the chamber, for every alien present knew the truth that humans were now something beyond prediction. The scout pilot continued her report, describing every encounter she had survived. She spoke of the first human sighting on the plains of Xylar 9, a lone figure moving without lights, without sound, dodging creatures that would have killed any other being, and yet the human emerged unscathed, the pilot said. It was as if the darkness obeyed them, as if they became part of it, and the council shivered at the thought. Alien scientists displayed recordings from orbit showing humans disappearing and reappearing in shadows that no sensor could penetrate. Even the most advanced scanners failed to track them consistently, and every attempt to predict their movement failed. They moved like living shadows through storms and fire, their precision uncanny, their speed unimaginable, and the council realized that nothing could prepare them for what humans had mastered. The stone-skinned elder shifted his bulk nervously. He said, "Every species fears the dark, for it hides predators, for it hides death. Yet humans do not fear. They adapt, they hunt, and they survive. And if they extend beyond Xylar 9, nothing will be safe. Their mastery of the night is not just survival, it is domination." And every leader felt a chill at the word domination. The high speaker tapped the crystal on the central dais, and the holograms expanded, showing humans moving in coordinated groups, silently taking control of dangerous zones, rescuing survivors, and striking at any threat without hesitation or error. The council members leaned closer, some gasping in disbelief, their own technology rendered useless by creatures they thought primitive, humans who by all logic should have died in storms and darkness now mastered every danger and yet remained alive and unbroken. A young delegate of the feathered race asked in a trembling voice, "How can a species be trained to survive darkness that kills every other intelligent being?" And the elder replied, "It is not training, it is evolution. Their world is cruel, and permanent night storms have shaped them into something more than adaptable. They perceive what others cannot sense, and their instinct combined with intelligence makes them unstoppable in conditions where others perish quickly." Reports of missing scout ships and destroyed outposts were displayed, showing patterns. The humans left no evidence of fear or panic. They struck precisely and vanished. Their movements anticipated danger before it appeared, and the council realized the humans were now a predator on a scale no one had expected. Some delegates whispered that even fleets would struggle to contain them if humans extended beyond Xylar 9, and the thought sent shivers through every species. The high speaker called for silence and said, "We must understand this fully. They are humans, and we have underestimated them. We must study them carefully, for any confrontation without understanding is certain defeat." And the chamber fell silent as another transmission arrived from the Xylar 9 outpost, and the words appeared slowly across the holographic display, "Humans are here, we are the hunt," and the alien leaders froze, for the message carried no threat, only a simple statement of truth that humans now controlled the dark. Panic rippled through the chamber as simulations showed humans moving through darkness on other colonies, humans standing silently in forests where night never ends, humans hunting creatures that would have destroyed any other species, humans appearing suddenly in enemy bases, their eyes glowing faintly, catching every movement. And the council began to realize that humanity redefined what it meant to survive in darkness, and the fear in their hearts grew because survival was not enough. Humans could dominate. The crystalline elder spoke again, their voice calm, yet ominous. "They are hunters, they are not afraid, and we must remember this. Our sensors cannot predict their movements, our weapons cannot stop them. If we act with aggression, we risk failure. If we act with caution, we risk delay. Either way, we face a species that turns fear into advantage, and they move through the dark as if it is theirs." The council debated late into their cycle. Strategies were proposed to trap humans, to contain them, and to study them in isolation. Yet every plan fell apart in simulations. Every scenario ended in human advantage, and the delegates realized that humans could turn every attempt at control into failure. Their ability to adapt was beyond calculation, and every member of the council felt the tension of being watched by creatures who did not fear them, but could outthink them. Finally, the high speaker stood, his voice echoing through the chamber. "We now face the truth. Humans are hunters, and darkness is their home. We have been blind to their strength for centuries. We must act carefully and learn quickly, for any delay will allow them to extend their reach beyond Xylar 9. And the council understood that the galaxy itself was now under observation by creatures who thrived in the shadows, and the thought was terrifying. And as the chamber emptied, each leader carried with them the same thought: humans survive in darkness, humans hunt in darkness. And if the galaxy does not respect this truth, it may be destroyed before it ever understands the power it faces. The scout pilot returned to her quarters silent, yet aware that the humans she had seen were not just survivors, they were predators, and every shadow in the room seemed to move as if alive and waiting. The Council on Zephyra Prime struggled to understand the humans and their mastery of darkness. Every report showed failure and panic. Every simulation ended with human advantage, and now the chamber prepared for the first attempt to confront them. The High Speaker called for fleets to assemble in orbit of Xylar 9 to observe humans in action and to determine if capture or diplomacy was possible, but no one truly believed it would succeed. The first fleet left quietly under the cover of night, their ships gliding through space, sensors scanning for any movement. The humans below moved like shadows across the jagged surface, their steps silent and precise. They seemed to anticipate every detection, every scan, every weapon aimed at them. And alien crews aboard the fleet whispered nervously that the humans were no ordinary species, that they were hunters in darkness, and every shadow could conceal their strike. In the dense forests of the planet, humans moved in coordinated groups, small and fast, each carrying tools and weapons designed for the dark. Their eyes adapted to see faint glows, their hearing sharper than any sensor, and their instincts faster than any calculation. The scout ships tried to track them, yet each movement was unpredictable, and each human seemed to vanish before detection became possible, leaving alien crews frustrated and fearful. The first ambush was planned carefully. The alien commanders positioned units across narrow valleys using advanced sensors and light traps. But when the humans approached, they split and moved like smoke through every detection zone. One human appeared suddenly atop a ridge, another moved silently through the trees. Others seemed to emerge from the shadows themselves, their timing perfect, and every attempt to trap them failed spectacularly. The alien commanders shouted orders, but the humans anticipated each one and adapted instantly. From the fleet above, a pilot reported seeing humans appear and disappear in ways that defied technology. The shadows themselves seemed alive under their control, and one commander whispered that humans were not only survivors, they were predators in the truest sense, moving without hesitation, without error, exploiting the dark as if it belonged to them. And the council below watched in horror as simulations of the ambush were displayed, showing nothing worked against humans. The crystalline elder leaned forward, their voice calm, yet ominous. We have prepared every possible scenario, every strategy, every defense, and yet they overcome them. All the council members shivered, for this was not intelligence alone. It was instinct honed in conditions no other species could survive. Humans have learned to make darkness their ally, and we cannot predict their next move. Reports came in from outposts that humans had eliminated dangerous predators without effort. The humans had crossed poison rivers that would kill most species. The humans had avoided natural traps with precision, and even the alien scouts admitted that no weapon or trap had slowed them. The chamber realized that humans were not just masters of survival, they were hunters capable of controlling the environment around them and turning danger into advantage. The winged delegate whispered nervously, if they can move through darkness like this, if they can hunt without fear, then every world we occupy could be at risk. And the stone-skinned elder replied softly, they're not reckless, they're deliberate. Every step measured, every movement calculated. The council now understood the magnitude of what Xylar 9 had revealed. Humans were not chaotic, they were perfection in motion, in shadows, and every member felt the fear grow. The first attempt to capture a human ended in disaster. One human approached the trap, silently dodging energy nets, disabling drones, and emerging behind the alien captors with precise strikes that disarmed them without killing, and vanished into the forest before reinforcements could arrive. Every council member stared in disbelief. The scout pilot shook her head and said nothing could stop them. They are the dark, and the dark obeys them. Alien scientists tried to analyze human patterns, each movement recorded and measured, yet every prediction failed. The humans adapted instantly. The algorithms broke the models, the simulations reset, endlessly showing humans always a step ahead, and a new term spread across the chamber. Like wildfire, perfect hunters. The council repeated it in whispers. Humans are perfect hunters, and the fear in their eyes reflected the fear in their hearts. The high speaker raised his hand for silence and said, "Every encounter confirms it. Humans survive where none else can. Humans move in darkness as if it is part of them. They are not merely a threat to Xylar 9. They are a challenge to every species in the galaxy," and the realization spread slowly. But with horror, the humans could extend their reach beyond the planet to other systems, and darkness would always protect them. In one valley, a human group moved silently through the fog, hunters' instincts guiding every step. They approached an alien patrol waiting in ambush, yet the humans never hesitated. One stepped aside and fell into the shadows. Another appeared behind a sentry. The alien units fired blindly, yet nothing hit humans. Their movements a blur, their timing perfect, and within moments the patrol was neutralized quietly and efficiently, leaving no trace except for broken equipment and wide-eyed survivors. The council watched the recording and realized that humans were reshaping the very definition of survival, and combat. Darkness was not a limitation for them. It was a weapon. The crystalline elder spoke again, their voice echoing. Humans turn fear into power. They turn the environment into advantage. They anticipate and control the unpredictable, and the council shivered because no strategy had ever prepared any species for this level of dominance. The scout pilot shivered as she recalled her time among humans, their calm in storms, their precision in ambushes, their ability to vanish and reappear in moments that should have been impossible. She said, "They do not move like us, they move like the shadows themselves. They are the predators," and every member of the council felt it deeply for the first time. Fear was not just theoretical, it was real, and humans were the cause. Even the fleets above struggled to track humans moving across the valley's forests and cliffs. Their sensors detected energy spikes and faint movement, but by the time coordinates locked, humans were gone, appearing somewhere else, and the alien pilots whispered that it was impossible. The humans seemed everywhere and nowhere at once, their mastery of darkness complete, and the council began to realize that no conventional weapon or strategy could contain them. As night fell again over Xylar 9, the council received a new transmission, words appearing slowly on the holographic displays. "Humans have begun hunting," and the chamber froze, for the simple statement carried power. Humans were not only surviving the dark, they were using it to strike the hunters and the hunted alike, and every alien leader realized that the galaxy would never see darkness in the same way again. And far below on the surface of Xylar 9, the humans moved in silence, their eyes scanning the shadows, their ears tuned to every sound, their minds aware of every threat. And as they prepared for the next phase of the hunt, every shadow seemed alive with purpose, and the council knew in their hearts that this was only the beginning. Humans had become the hunt, and no darkness could hide from them. The council could no longer deny what the scouts reported. Humans moved through darkness as if it were alive, their presence unseen and unpredictable, and every fleet above Xylar 9 struggled to track them, their sensors useless against creatures that became part of the night itself, and alien leaders whispered nervously that humans were no longer just survivors, but predators in every shadow. The first strike came without warning at an alien outpost on the edge of the forest. The humans emerged silently from the thick mist, disabling guards with precise strikes and vanishing before reinforcements arrived. The outpost alarmed every nearby station, but humans were already gone, their paths invisible, their timing perfect, and every recording sent to the council left a sense of awe and fear, because nothing in the galaxy moved this way. The crystalline elders spoke slowly, their voice carrying through the chamber. Humans are not reckless. They turn darkness into a weapon. Every strike is measured, every movement deliberate, their senses adapted to conditions that would kill other species, and the alien leaders nodded uneasily, for they knew the words were true, and the fear that had been growing since Xylar 9 first spoke became heavier still. In orbit, the scout ships tried to anticipate human movement, setting traps and creating false lights, but humans flowed around every obstacle appearing, where least expected, moving through shadows like water around rocks, and the pilots whispered among themselves, "This is not hunting, this is mastery." And the high speaker said, "The humans are teaching us a lesson we have never learned before. The night itself is their ally and weapon." On the surface, humans moved in coordinated groups, using the environment to their advantage, thick fog hiding their approach, cliffs masking their movements, and the trees giving cover their eyes adapted to the faintest glow, their hearing detecting every vibration, their instincts predicting dangers before they appeared. And alien soldiers stationed across Xylar 9 watched in horror as every strategy failed, as humans struck precisely and then disappeared, leaving no trace but the feeling of fear. Reports came in that humans disabled patrol drones with silent precision, that humans avoided traps that would destroy other species, and that humans even redirected dangerous creatures to clear paths or block alien reinforcements. Every movement calculated, every action purposeful, and the Council realized that survival had transformed into domination. Humans were not only enduring darkness, they were bending it to their will. The winged delegate whispered nervously, "If they can move like this, they can strike anywhere. If they master shadows, they control the battlefield before we even see them." And the stone-skinned elder replied softly, "They are deliberate hunters. Every step they take planned, yet adaptable. Nothing catches them by surprise." And every member of the council felt the growing panic, for no species had ever combined intelligence and instinct in this way before. The first attempt to study humans directly ended in disaster. A small research team was sent to observe from a nearby ridge. The humans approached silently like wind through the trees. They did not attack immediately, but their presence was felt by instinct alone. The researchers reported a strange calm, followed by sudden movements that placed humans in every advantageous position, and before any data could be gathered, humans vanished, leaving only broken equipment and terrified scientists. The High Speaker addressed the Council with calm urgency. "We must understand humans, or we risk everything. Their mastery of darkness challenges all our theories. Their movements defy logic, and yet they are real." And every leader nodded, for the simulations were now supplemented by live encounters, showing humans exploiting darkness with terrifying efficiency. Alien scientists ran calculations on every possible sensor adjustment, every light enhancement, every tracking algorithm. Yet every simulation failed. Humans adapted, instantly appearing where no system could detect them, striking before predictions could be made, and the Council realized that no standard defense could withstand human tactics. The night was their shield, the shadows their allies, and every strategy seemed powerless. The scout pilot who had survived the first encounters described seeing humans manipulate the environment in subtle ways, moving objects to create cover, changing the path of fires, redirecting predators, and even predicting storms to appear advantageous. Their abilities seemed beyond comprehension, and the Council understood that humans were now controlling conditions that would have destroyed any other species with terrifying precision. In one forest valley, a group of humans moved silently around an alien patrol. The patrol fired blindly into the shadows, yet every shot missed. Humans reappeared in positions the aliens never expected. Their movements smooth, their timing perfect, their confidence unshakable. And when the patrol tried to regroup, humans vanished into darkness, only to strike from another direction moments later, leaving the aliens shaken and unable to fight back effectively. The crystalline elder addressed the chamber again. "Humans turn fear into power. They convert every danger into advantage. Their mastery of darkness reshapes battlefields and survival itself." And the Council realized the gravity of the situation. The humans were not just dangerous, they redefined what it meant to be strong in the galaxy, and every alien present felt a cold weight in their hearts, because humans were rewriting the rules of conflict. The fleets above attempted coordinated strikes using light bursts and energy scans, but humans adapted, instantly appearing where attacks would have landed, missing the fleets by meters each time, and then vanishing again. The alien pilots whispered that nothing could anticipate their actions. Humans were faster than sensors, faster than calculations, faster than fear itself. And every commander knew that conventional tactics had failed spectacularly. A report arrived from a remote observation station. Humans had disabled a predator species without touching them, redirecting their path, and leaving the aliens stunned. Humans could observe, predict, and control without direct confrontation. The Council realized that humans were not just hunters of themselves or other species, they were hunters of conditions, controlling every factor and making darkness itself an extension of their power. The High Speaker said aloud, "We face a species that survives where none else. Can we face beings that have turned the galaxy's most feared environment into a weapon? We must learn quickly, for delay is dangerous." And the Council agreed that humans could not be contained with fleets alone. No strategy could prevent their mastery of darkness, and the galaxy would have to adapt or perish. Below on Xylar 9, humans moved in perfect silence, their eyes scanning the darkness, their minds aware of every threat, their instincts guiding every step, and the alien patrols could only watch helplessly as shadows shifted and humans appeared, struck, and vanished. Humans had transformed darkness into a weapon, and every alien present realized that this was only the beginning, for when humans extended beyond Xylar 9, the galaxy itself would face hunters in the shadows. The Council on Zephyr Prime gathered once more, their fear of humans growing with every report, every scout returning with tales of precise strikes and perfect evasion, and every leader understood that humans were no longer merely survivors, they were hunters, and shadows themselves moved differently because of them. A communication arrived from Xylar 9, the message simple yet chilling: humans are watching, and the words spread unease through every alien species. The crystalline elder said aloud, "They are not threatening us. In words, they are demonstrating control," and every leader felt it in their bones. Humans do not need to speak to dominate the night. And the chamber shifted uneasily, for the meaning was clear: humans had turned observation into intimidation. Alien scientists tried to analyze human patterns again, their simulations failing. Humans adapted before predictions could be made, their movements flowing like water through every obstacle, their instincts sharper than sensors, their coordination unmatched. And the Council began to whisper that no technology, no weapon, no strategy could contain creatures that thrived in darkness. The night was their domain, and fear was now a tool in their hands. The High Speaker said, "We cannot continue to fight blindly. We must approach with caution. Humans are beyond conventional understanding," and the alien delegates nodded nervously, for they had seen what humans could do, moving silently through patrols, appearing in shadows no sensor could track, and striking with precision that left no room for error. A delegation of the winged species proposed sending envoys to negotiate, yet even their words trembled with fear. The plan was daring. Humans had proven they could vanish and reappear at will, and the Council understood that diplomacy would require respect, not strength, and even the bravest leaders felt their courage waver, for no species had faced humans and remained unshaken. On Xylar 9, humans moved in small groups through forests, valleys, and cliffs, their senses attuned to the faintest sound, the slightest movement, and their coordination perfect even in the thickest shadows. Alien patrols tried to spot them. Every observation failed. Humans anticipated every scan and countered every tactic, their mastery of darkness complete, and every alien watching knew that fear was now a part of human strategy. The first human envoy arrived at the designated zone, moving silently through shadows as the alien delegates waited nervously, no weapons drawn, no trap set. And yet every alien felt exposed. Humans approached in perfect formation, their movements calm, deliberate, and the Council realized that humans commanded the environment with a presence that did not need words to convey power. The crystalline elder whispered, "They do not raise their weapons, yet every step they take reminds us of our vulnerability." The Council watched as humans paused in the dim light of the landing zone, their eyes scanning every figure, measuring every reaction, and every delegate felt the weight of being observed. The aliens could not hide their fear, and humans noticed it without speaking. The High Speaker said aloud, "Humans do not need to threaten us. They're showing their strength by presence alone," and the delegates nodded uneasily, for the humans had turned fear into a tool of respect, their mastery of darkness, allowing them to control situations without lifting a weapon, and every alien felt small in comparison. Reports came in from other patrols on Xylar 9. Humans had guided dangerous wildlife away from areas where innocent species were stationed. They had disabled traps without alerting others, and they had rescued scouts who had been trapped in deadly zones, and yet no human made a sound, their movements calm, deliberate. And the council understood that humans were teaching a new lesson: every action purposeful, every motion controlled. A young delegate of the stone-skinned race asked, how can they do this without fear, without error? And the elder replied, it is not absence of fear, it is mastery. Over humans understand darkness, they embrace it, and they manipulate it. Every patrol that faces them becomes an experiment in control. Humans convert chaos into advantage, and the council shivered, for no species had done this before. The first meeting began, humans standing quietly in the shadows, the alien delegates approaching carefully, every movement watched by the silent observers, and yet no aggression appeared, only calm observation. Humans allowed the aliens to speak first, and every word they spoke was measured. Humans reacted, subtly changing positions, fading into shadows, and the aliens realized that they were part of a performance. Humans were demonstrating control without force, and every delegate felt unease. One human stepped forward, a figure tall and confident, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. They spoke softly and clearly, our goal is not to destroy, we adapt, we survive, and we respect those who respect us. And the council understood that these words carried power, not in threat, but in truth. Humans had proven their strength, and the chamber felt the weight of realization that fear could be converted to respect simply by presence. The High Speaker said, humans have turned the night itself into a teacher. They show us our limits and offer respect only to those who acknowledge it. And the alien delegates felt a shift in perspective for the first time. Fear was not just instinct, it was lesson. Humans commanded the darkness to demonstrate this, and the council began to see that humans were beyond simple tactics. They were masters of perception and environment. Across Xylar 9, humans moved silently, guiding alien patrols away from dangerous zones, correcting errors, and neutralizing threats. Without confrontation, every movement elegant, precise, controlled, and the scouts reported back with awe. Humans had not only survived, but reshaped the patrols into learning experiences, demonstrating efficiency and mastery. Every alien present could not deny the skill, the discipline, the intelligence of humans. The winged delegate whispered, their voice trembling, they do not need to fight, yet they teach us every weakness we have. And the crystalline elder replied calmly, they are converting fear into respect. They are hunters, they are survivors, and we are fortunate to witness it. And the council nodded, for even in caution, they had to respect humans' mastery over darkness. Every report a reminder that humans controlled every factor without force. As night fell again, humans continued their silent observation, every movement deliberate, every step demonstrating confidence. In the shadows, alien patrols moved carefully, yet humans appeared in unexpected positions, correcting errors, rescuing endangered units. And the council realized that humans had become more than predators. They were teachers of control, of observation, of survival, and fear had turned into respect for the first time in galactic history. And in the chamber on Zephyr Prime, every delegate understood deeply that humans were no longer merely a species, they were a force. To respect their mastery of darkness, a lesson in survival and dominance, their presence alone reshaping the minds of every alien watching. Humans had become the measure of power in the shadows, and the galaxy would never see night in the same way again. The council on Zephyr Prime had learned to respect humans, yet fear lingered in the hearts of every leader. Their simulations had failed, their strategies had failed, and now every report coming from Xylar 9 confirmed that humans were mastering conditions no species had survived for centuries. And the alien delegates whispered nervously that this was no ordinary species, they were beyond comprehension. In the forests of Xylar 9, humans moved in coordinated groups, their senses attuned to every shadow, every sound, every shift in wind or ground vibrations. And alien patrols observed helplessly as humans disappeared and reappeared where no sensor could detect their movements. The scout pilot, who had survived the first encounters, shook her head and whispered, they are unstoppable, they are the true strength of life itself. The first fleet above tried to anticipate human movements, setting traps, using advanced energy bursts, and holographic projections, humans adapted, instantly appearing in shadows where no ship could see them, moving with precision that left every pilot uneasy, and alien commanders admitted in private that humans were no longer predictable. They were a force of nature, living in darkness, and controlling it with instinct and intelligence. The crystalline elder spoke to the council calmly, yet ominously. Humans do not fight blindly. They calculate every step, they use every factor as a weapon, they adapt to conditions that would kill other species, and every alien present understood that this was not only survival, it was dominance. Humans had become the standard of strength in extreme environments, and every strategy the council had developed was obsolete. A remote outpost reported that humans had entered a dangerous canyon filled with predators and collapsing terrain. They moved silently, avoiding danger, rescuing trapped scouts, and neutralizing threats. Without leaving a trace, alien commanders watched the recordings in awe. Humans had transformed chaos into order, their instincts guiding every movement, their coordination flawless, and the council realized that the true strength of humanity lay not just in survival, but in mastery of every environment. The winged delegate whispered fearfully, "If they can dominate here, they can dominate anywhere." The stone-skinned elder replied softly, "They do not need weapons, they do not need fleets, they move with nature itself." And the council understood that humans were beyond conventional measures, their mastery of darkness, extending to control over every living element around them. Humans had become hunters and guardians in equal measure. The first encounter with a hostile alien patrol demonstrated human ingenuity, their movements perfectly synchronized. Humans approached silently, using shadows to conceal their approach, neutralizing weapons and communication devices without harming anyone, and then appearing behind the patrol to offer assistance or guidance. The alien leaders watched with unease, for humans had transformed confrontation into education, turning potential conflict into control. Reports from scouts indicated humans were able to predict attacks before they happened. Their instincts, sensing movement through vibration, sound, and faint energy shifts, their eyes detecting details invisible to sensors, and every human coordinated with others seamlessly, their group awareness extending farther than any alien system could track. And the council began to whisper that humans were no longer just survivors, they were orchestrators of reality itself in darkness. The High Speaker said aloud, "Humans have mastered adaptation. They convert every environment into advantage, every danger into opportunity." And the council nodded, for no species had ever demonstrated such control over chaos. Humans were not reckless, they were deliberate, and their discipline ensured that every action served purpose, even in conditions designed to kill every other species in the galaxy. On the surface, humans approached an unstable cliffside where a trapped patrol awaited rescue, their movements silent yet precise, avoiding falling debris, redirecting dangerous creatures, and stabilizing hazardous terrain. Without effort, the scouts, watched in disbelief, for humans had turned catastrophe into control, every step calculated, every motion perfect, and the alien commanders admitted privately that they had never seen such mastery in any species. The crystalline elder addressed the chamber again. Humans convert fear into calculation. They convert darkness into weapon. They convert danger into advantage. And the council shivered, for this was beyond anything recorded. Humans had become teachers of survival and dominance, and every leader understood that they could no longer underestimate this species, for humans redefined every measure of strength in the galaxy. The scout pilot remembered seeing humans in total darkness guiding alien units through poisoned swamps and collapsing ruins. Humans had calculated every risk, predicting the movement of unstable rocks, the approach of predators, and every hazard that would have killed others instantly. Their coordination flawless, their instincts unmatched. And she whispered, "They are more than humans. They are living strategy." And the council felt the weight of the truth in every word. Alien fleets above attempted to contain human movements with energy net scanners and coordinated strikes. Yet humans moved around every obstacle appearing where no system could predict. They struck with precision, neutralizing threats, and disappeared into shadows, leaving the fleets frustrated and afraid. Their abilities seemed unlimited, and the council realized that no fleet, no technology, no conventional strategy could confront humans successfully. A young feathered delegate spoke nervously. How can a species be so strong, so adaptable without fear? And the elder replied, it is not absence of fear, it is mastery. Over humans understand danger. Instinctively they predict it, control it, and turn it into advantage. Every action deliberate, every move purposeful. And the council felt a growing realization that humans had become the ultimate measure of strength in the galaxy. The first large-scale demonstration occurred when humans coordinated a rescue of multiple trap patrols, simultaneously navigating cliffs, forests, and collapsing terrain. Their movement, so precise that no casualties occurred, every alien observing could not believe that such coordination could exist. Humans had become orchestrators, controlling reality in darkness, and the Council recognized that survival was no longer the limit. Humans had become the standard of perfection in extreme conditions. As night fell over Xylar 9, humans moved silently across the terrain, their eyes glowing faintly, their hearing detecting vibrations invisible to sensors, and their coordination with others seamless. Every movement calculated, their instincts guiding them through dangers. The alien patrols watched helplessly as humans transformed every shadow into a path, every risk into a lesson, and every council member understood that the true strength of humanity was beyond conventional measurement. The High Speaker said aloud, humans are not only survivors, they are hunters, they are strategists, they are masters of darkness. And every delegate nodded, understanding that humans had redefined the galaxy's understanding of strength. Humans convert fear into power and danger into advantage, and the Council shivered. For the first time, the galaxy had faced beings whose mastery could not be challenged. And as humans moved across Xylar 9, their shadows stretching through forests, valleys, and cliffs, every alien present felt the weight of reality. Humans were not only unbreakable, they were perfect in motion, in strategy, in survival, and in control of darkness. Humans had become the standard against which every species would measure themselves, and the Council understood deeply that no world would ever be safe from the mastery of the true strength of humanity. The Council on Zephyr Prime had reached a level of respect mingled with fear. Humans had mastered darkness. They had converted every threat into advantage, and every report from Xylar 9 confirmed that humans were no longer merely surviving, they were hunting, and every alien species knew that a new era had begun. The first fleets attempting to track human movements found their sensors useless. Humans moved silently, appearing where no detection system could predict. They vanished into shadows and reappeared behind alien patrols, every action precise, every strike controlled, and the High Speaker whispered they had become the hunt, and every delegate felt the weight of truth in that statement. In the valleys of Xylar 9, humans moved through thick fog, their eyes scanning every movement, their hearing detecting the faintest vibration, the air itself seeming to part for them, and alien patrols watching from hidden positions were struck by the unnatural precision of every human step. They struck silently and disappeared, leaving only awe and fear behind. The crystalline elder addressed the Council, their voice calm, but heavy. Humans have transformed from survivors into predators. Every movement is calculated, every strike purposeful, and darkness itself obeys them. They have taken control of the environment, and the Council realized that no species in the galaxy could match their ability to hunt in conditions where death itself waits around every corner. Reports arrived of humans moving across forests, cliffs, and rivers, coordinating silently with each other, their instincts predicting danger before it appeared, their eyes catching details no sensor could record, and alien patrols could do nothing to stop them. Humans appeared in perfect positions, neutralizing threats without aggression and guiding endangered units to safety, and every observation left the Council in stunned silence. The winged delegate whispered fearfully, if they can hunt like this, anywhere could be a battlefield, and the stone-skinned elder replied softly, they do not need fleets, they do not need weapons, their mastery of darkness and instinct makes them unstoppable. The Council understood that humans had become the apex hunters, and that every species in the galaxy was now vulnerable to their reach. On the surface, humans moved in coordinated packs across dangerous terrain, cliffs, unstable valleys, and predator-filled forests. They approached alien patrols, silently neutralizing threats with precision that left no one injured, and then disappeared into shadows only to appear moments later at another location, rescuing trapped units. Humans had become orchestrators of chaos, and the Council realized that the very concept of hunting had been rewritten. Alien scouts reported humans predicting ambushes before they occurred. Humans moved with uncanny awareness, their instincts sensing every hazard, every movement, every sound, and the alien commanders admitted privately that no tactics, no sensors, no weapons could match humans in their domain. The High Speaker said, "Allowed humans have turned survival into control and control into mastery," and every delegate shivered at the truth. The first direct confrontation with hostile aliens demonstrated humans' absolute coordination. A squad approached a fortified outpost. They moved silently, using shadows to mask their approach, neutralizing defenses without firing a single weapon, and then reappearing inside the outpost to guide or rescue units. The alien leaders watched helplessly as humans converted danger into advantage, teaching the meaning of strategy without aggression. A young delegate of the crystalline species asked how can they be so calm in the face of threats, and the elder replied, "It is not calm, it is instinct honed in darkness, every action measured, every movement deliberate." Humans have turned fear into anticipation and anticipation into power. Their mastery extends beyond survival into control of the environment itself, and the Council realized that humans had become the ultimate hunters. The High Speaker addressed the chamber. Humans are no longer reactive, they are proactive. They anticipate danger and strike with precision. They convert threats into lessons, and every alien present understood that the galaxy had never seen predators like these. Humans were hunters of everything visible and invisible, and darkness itself served as their shield, their ally, and their weapon. Across Xylar 9, humans moved silently, coordinating their packs like symphonies of instinct. Each step measured, each movement calculated, every strike precise, and every alien observing could not follow the pattern. Humans disappeared and reappeared with flawless timing, neutralizing hazards, rescuing endangered units, and teaching others the art of survival. Without a word, their mastery of darkness complete and total. Reports arrived from fleets above. Humans had eluded capture attempts using shadows to mislead sensors, moving in ways no technology could predict, and appearing in positions that allowed them to strike or guide with unmatched precision. The Council understood that humans had taken the art of hunting to an entirely new level, and the galaxy would never see darkness as merely absence of light again. The winged delegate whispered, "Humans have turned every environment into a weapon, every shadow into an ally, every threat into advantage." And the elder replied, "Humans have become the apex of survival strategy. They hunt without fear, they act without hesitation," and the Council realized that no species could claim mastery over humans in darkness. Humans had become the ultimate predators. The first coordinated rescue of multiple endangered patrols demonstrated humans' ability to manage chaos, perfectly guiding units through collapsing terrain, predator-filled zones, and hazardous rivers. With flawless timing, no mistakes, no casualties, every movement calculated, every decision deliberate, and alien observers understood that humans had transcended ordinary survival into the realm of absolute control. The High Speaker said humans have become the hunt itself. They do not wait to react. They control every factor in every situation. Their mastery of darkness allows them to convert danger into power, and every council member nodded, knowing that humans had redefined what it meant to survive, thrive, and dominate in the galaxy. Humans were the ultimate hunters, and the shadows themselves obeyed them. And as night fell over Xylar 9, humans moved across valleys, forests, cliffs, and rivers, their eyes scanning every movement, their instincts predicting every hazard, their coordination with others seamless. Every alien observing felt awe and fear. Humans had become the apex predators, mastering darkness, controlling danger, and converting fear into absolute power. And the Council understood deeply that the galaxy had changed forever. Humans had become the hunt, And every species now knew that no shadow was safe, no patrol could anticipate every move, and every plan would be tested against instincts honed in darkness. Humans had turned survival into strategy, domination, and mastery, and the galaxy itself would never again be the same, for every world would face hunters who thrived in the night and commanded fear as their weapon.